big challenge ahead today, guys. You guys ready? So here's the deal. My wife Mimi has a bad habit. She wears her shoes into the ground and she refuses to replace them. She don't throw them out. Well, today she told me to pick up a pair from her collection that needs a serious makeup. I grabbed these Turbo Jordan 6s. I've never seen her wear, so the goal is to see if we can change that today. Take a look at the shoe as it is right now. We're gonna make these so cool she's gonna wear them. Again, anyway. Obviously she wore them before, they're a little beat. She took care of them pretty well, but the suede seen better days. So we're gonna have to do something about that. But okay, it's time for the twist. Now that Mimi knows what shoes we're working with, she's gonna tell me the design idea right now. It's a surprise. I have no idea what she wants. I'm just gonna make it happen. But before we dive in, I need a favor. Drop your guys' favorite Jordan 6 colorway down below of all time and smash that like button for me if you guys enjoy the content. And if you like this video, hit that sub button for me at the end of the video. It seriously helps the channel out a ton, okay? If you guys want more videos quicker, this is the only way to do it. Run those like numbers up for me, please. Tag your friends. Everybody got to see these videos. Let's get back going so I can get these celebrities back in for you. But without further ado, let's get to work. So before we jump into the custom, let's talk about the base. This right here is the Jordan 6 Retro GG in the turbo green colorway, a girls exclusive release that dropped back in 2019. It features a bold combo of turbo green and a black leather on the upper with pops of Volt and icy blue on the outsole that give it an extra flair. These got classic Air Jordan 6 vibes, but with loud, modern twists. But also it's a little bit of an off colorway, so perfect canvas for a full custom transformation. Now the plan for these is pretty simple. I'm going to be taking my heat transfer fabric sheets that I get from Staples. Actually, I think this is Michael's. And I'm going to be going online and finding the exact Supreme print that I want to use. She told me to focus on the color green, so that's what we're doing. She doesn't have anything green to wear. That's what she says. And I know when we saw this print in person, she was really feeling it. So this is the one I'm going to go with. The green Supreme Skulls. I'm going to go ahead and up the contrast on this a bit. We're going to cut this out and use individual sheets here to cover up all of the suede sections that need to be covered. So let's walk through that process. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and stuff these shoes here, get them nice and packed tight. That way they take out all those creases by the time we're done. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our acetone and just start cleaning these shoes off as best as possible. Get all the old dirt and grime off. Make sure the soles, midsoles, and everything are nice and clean so that we have a good prepped surface to go ahead and start adhering all of this new stuff to. Once we're done, I'm going to use another little trick here to kind of get rid of all these frayed hairs and fibers and stuff sticking off the shoe after all these years of wear. Just, go run it around the edge of the shoe here, run it over all of the places that any fabric sticks up. And the shoes are actually pretty well flame retardant, so you really shouldn't have any issues with anything else catching. Just make sure you don't get it on that sock line or the inside, underneath where those laces sit. That stuff will burn really quick. Now I'm going to use our handy blue painter's tape. We're going to mask off each individual suede section that needs to be covered here. I'm going to go ahead and mark it with a nice outline around and with exactly which panel it is on which shoe so I can remember for later. That's going to be important. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get my stencils and transfer sheets ready to print and stick to the shoe. I'm going to be doing a big Supreme logo in this last panel here that rarely gets used on any Jordan 6 customs I've seen, so I figured let's throw it in on this one, and I'm going to need to make sure it fits. So then a little bit of measuring, and then we'll go ahead and throw it in the program and get to cutting it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut around my outline on my masking tape here and go ahead and stick them all to my transfer sheet. I'm gonna try to fit all of them onto one sheet so I don't have to print an extra one. We'll see how we do. Then it's as simple as cut out all of our different individual sections here. Now, I made a bit of a goof here where it created a large issue that I had to fix later down in the video where this blue tape, actually the adhesive is too strong to do what I'm doing with it. Now, I did this to kind of save some time here as this wasn't going to be a piece that was going to be sold to, an outside person. It's just going to my wife, and she just, it's not that big of a deal. But for a real client, I would not actually stick the blue tape to the tape or to the sheet itself like this, because when I removed this tape, because the adhesive was too strong, it actually created bits and pieces of paint pigment that separated from the sheet itself. Now I had to go back and fill all this stuff in later in the video. It was a big headache, and it caused me to have to use paints and airbrushes I was not even planning to use for this shoe. So there you go. Even I goof every now and again. I'm gonna grab the heat gun and prepare to lay these on very, very carefully. I'm gonna try to protect the top layer of this transfer sheet with a bandana here. I recommend you get some kind of transfer, heat iron resistant, heat resistant sheet to lay over top of it. They sell stuff like that with these transfer sheets usually. If you don't use something like this, you run the risk of scratching or burning the actual transfer sheet itself. But when you're done, you should have something that looks kind of like this. As you can see, we've got a lot of little white dots here. That's where the tape actually removed the pigment from our transfer sheets when we were actually applying them. So now we need to go back through and actually just do some fine tuning here by hand and with the paintbrush and with my handy gel pen here. And we're gonna go ahead and just darken in all of our solid black dark areas, redo all of our line work, redo our whites, and then we're gonna redo some green over top too to add a little bit more depth. All right, we've gotten to a nice spot here with the shoe, but I feel like it's still missing something. It needs more. It needs more Supreme or something. So we're gonna try to do something with this little panel up here on the back heel area that really does no customs really ever deal with. So I'm gonna try to put a little bit of a bar logo in here, see how it looks, and then we'll see what we're gonna do after that. And I hate it. So we're gonna go ahead and hand paint this and try that. Okay, so now I've got my new Supreme stencils all cut out and ready to go. And since these are gonna need to be airbrushed onto the shoe, I'm gonna go ahead and take my airbrush and redo those greens all the way around the shoe as well. Really bring that color back out, make it pop again. And then I'm gonna use some filler to kind of fill in the pinholes around this back end section to make our Supreme logo look even better on the back side, but you'll see that in a second. Okay, now I'm gonna grab my carbon black from Golden and I'm gonna grab my badass black soul dye from Remix Your Kicks, and we're gonna go ahead and do all of our black trim and our soul dye.
I'm a pretty bad kid.
Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Liquid Kicks inner coat and go ahead and do another protective layer on this shoe before we do the actual pinhole filler, just in case we damage the shoe. I've never used it before and I don't want to ruin all the work I've done already. Now I'm gonna grab some black and some Volt highlighter yellow and just go ahead and start cleaning everything up. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add some drop shadows to these uppers here just to add a little bit of something to this shoe, make it unique. And we're gonna go ahead and just make sure everything else is filled in and done. Once we're done, it'll look a little something like this. And in the spirit of keeping the challenges going forwards, I want you guys as the viewers to have much more skin in the game basically when it comes to these videos. I want you guys to be telling me what you want to see. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this right here. This now is going to be the Sierato idea box. I'm going to take 5 comments with idea suggestions for new videos from you guys. So submit your ideas under each video. Any Sierato media piece really. I'm going to go through each day, and anytime I get a submission, I'm going to write it down. I'm going to put it in this box, right? And then basically, I'm gonna start just picking these out at random, and we're gonna see what we get, and that's gonna be the video. If it's a submission from one of you guys, I'll write your names on it, and I'll shout you out in the video as I do it and as I pull it. So let's go. It should be interesting this year. Okay, so now I'm gonna give you guys one last look at them before we reveal them to the queen. All right, guys, it's time for the reveal. The missus had to run out of town real quick. She'll be back tomorrow, so I'm gonna show her these on FaceTime, get her hyped up, and then when she gets back, we can get them on foot. All right, so let's call her.
Good. Oh my God! Oh, babe!
What you think? What you think?